My work's a bit crazy at the moment, and we've got a massive funding application due. And it's one of those ones where, I've written it all out across the weekend. It was going to be submitted on Monday, and they've said, 1,000 characters, 500 characters, whatever per question.
You pull them at the back, grab yourself a coffee at Joey's Evans. There you go.
Awesome. Oh, shit, we better get underway because it's the last one go. Oh, cool. All right. Do. Good. Testing. Do I have to turn the things on? Test. Come on. Hello. Woo! Yeah. Hope you're not live streaming this now. Okay. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Morning Startup. Quiet in front. Jeez, come on. So, welcome. My name is Scott Glue. I'm one of the organisers at Morning Startup. The other one abandoned me this morning at last minute. And his name is Dave Newman. He lives in Mandurah, so he's got a bit of an excuse. We get together every 2 weeks and we talk about startup stuff. So if you are starting a business, if you're thinking about starting a business and you come along here, rain, hail or shine, on a Wednesday at 7:30 in the morning and you learn something cool. So we usually have like a presenter doing a half-hour talk on something in the industry, but today we are doing something different. We try and do this as often as we can. Haven't done one for a while, but it's a pitch event. So we've got 4 startups. I'm looking around for echo. Maybe we'll have 3 startups, we'll see, pitching their pitch for their startup. They're going to have 3 minutes, but because we don't have a ton, we might give them an extra couple of minutes if they go over. We'll give them 5 minutes. And then we're going to open up the floor to feedback, questions, all of that sort of stuff. And that's the really important thing. So these guys are just practicing, right? They're not in front of investors doing it hardcore for the first time. They just want to get some reps in, public speaking and getting the idea out. So you guys are nice and supportive, right? You're going to give them good feedback and help them out. Sweet. That's the idea. So we'll get into that in a minute. But first of all, shameless plugs and announcements, excluding the pitches because they're going to have plenty of time to pitch what they're doing. Does anyone else here have like a shameless plug or an announcement or something? We'd like to know who's in the room. Who's...
I wanted to know how I could do my pitch today as well because I wasn't too aware of how to... I want to do my pitch today as well.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Do you have a slide deck or anything?
No.
Let's just get up and... Okay. I like it. All right, cool. Does anyone else want to do a pitch and hasn't registered to do a pitch? All right, because we got space, I'm going to let you up here. All good.
I could be great. Totally.
You want to give it a shot too? Sick. All right, I love it. So maybe we'll have to go to 3 minutes or so. All right, great. This is good. So on the meetup page, it does say to register, just email contact at Morning Startup with a description of your startup. So that's all you need to do to register, just for future reference. Fair enough. So anyone else that would like to have an event or talk about what they're doing? Just like a 30-second pitch? No. All right, fine. We'll move on. Startup weekend. Who's heard of this? Here's Echo. Yeah, all right, cool. Hey, man. Startup weekend is this weekend. And if you're pitching, and maybe you've got a vague idea of what you want to do, but you want to hack on it for the entire weekend and build a team around you of cool people and developers and designers and all of that stuff, come and pitch on the Friday night. Well, first sign up and pay them money so you can actually enter. And then come along on the Friday night and you've got a minute to pitch, I believe. Form a team so people come and, get around you, and then you spend the weekend hacking on that idea, validating it, calling people, saying, do you really want this? Maybe developing an MVP. And then on the Sunday, you pitch it and you win awesome stuff like cars and money and all of that. So get on it if you want to. I'm actually thinking of doing a startup weekend this weekend because I've got an idea in my head and I wouldn't mind working on it for a weekend. So we also have Founder Sundowner. Who's not a morning person and just sort of scrape themselves out of bed? Yeah, the struggle's real. So come along to Founder Sundowner. Now, Patrick runs a similar thing down in Freo, right? Freo Founders. First Thursday of the month? Sweet. So this one happens at Nowhere Man Brewery. It's on tonight. Who's up for a beer tonight and a pizza and stuff? Awesome. Come down to Nowhere Man Brewery. Meet some cool people like these folks. This was taken a little while ago. We need to update our photo, but yeah, that happens. All right, some few people to thank. You might notice some heavy-duty camera equipment up the back there. We're live streaming this for the regions so that people in regional Western Australia and a side effect, the rest of the world can view Morning Startup as whenever they like. So we've got the live stream happening now. You can also go on that same page, you can view past recordings as well. So this will be available afterwards for everyone pitching today. You can go and analyse yourself and go, oh, I wish I didn't have my hands in my pocket or whatever it was. I never watch the past events because I just don't want to see myself speak. Anyway, but that's thanks to these guys. The Department of JITSI, Jobs, Tourism, Science and Innovation, they are paying for all of these guys, for perthvideo.com.au to come and do this every second week. So that's thanks to the New Industries Fund, NIF. Also, I just want to do a shout out to wadealroom.co. If you've got a startup, head there and you can upload information about your startup. As much information as you want, such as revenue figures and things like that, or just a description of your startup. And it goes into, you know, the database and people can search it, investors can look at it, the WA government can see how their investment in startups is going, you know, who's getting to Series A and all of that sort of stuff. So get on dealroom.co and help them out by putting in your data. And I'll help you out too. Ammo. Got the bloody banner. There's a pull-up banner that should be there that says ammo. Just imagine that's there. I'm going to put it up soon. Subscribe to the Weird Growth podcast. It's just interviews with Perth startups and founders and innovation folk. So get out your phone right now, head to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is, search for Weird Growth, subscribe. It's awesome. Thank you, Ammo, for supporting us. They also do marketing. If you're into that kind of thing, want to hit the accelerator on your business, check them out. They know their stuff. Beecham Group, Glenn's not here, but if you're looking for talent or you need talent in your company, Beecham Group, very, very well connected. They can get you a job anywhere. They can help you find the right people. And Keep Space. So we've got some food up the back. So hopefully once we get through the pictures, we'll have like half an hour of networking. You can come and speak to everyone and get to know everyone in the room. Help yourself to the food. That's courtesy of Keep Space. They're here for you when you're ready to scale, which... Does anyone know what that means? Kind of. Basically, if you're in e-commerce, they have a warehouse here in Perth and a warehouse in Melbourne, and they can help you out if you're in the e-commerce space with the logistics. So yeah, if you're in Shopify and you're shipping stuff around the world, hit up Keep Space. They've got a really good online platform to manage your inventory and you know, manage everything through it. They're really cool guys, and Jesse has been a long-time supporter of the Perth startup community, so thank you, Jesse, at Keep Space and the team. And TechOn. Like I just mentioned before, we've got free coffees now. So there's coffee vouchers up the back. Just take them out to Joey Zaz's and they'll give you a coffee. How awesome is that? And that's thanks to this guy here, Patrick from TechOn, and Hayley, who is in Nepal at the moment, I believe. Wow. So TechOn, they have a whole group of developers over in Nepal. They're awesome. They know their shit around. I've used them to develop my website in fully custom Gatsby, React, contentful CMS, all of that stuff. And they're cost effective. So get around TechOn if you need development skills. How's that for a pitch? Is there anything else I should add to that? No? All right, good. And a bunch of supportive organisations. Space Cubed, we're in a place owned by Space Cube called Riff. They have Fern and Flux down the road as well, and they're opening up a whole ton of places all around the world. They've got a place in Sydney now too. So if you need a place to work, do it here. It's awesome. Startup News, also started by Patrick. God, you got your fingers in so many pies, don't you? So Startup News, they do startup news. It's great. Make sure you're subscribed. You'll hear about what's happening in the Perth startup community. Startup WA, they're our body for Perth startups to lobby to government about stuff that we want. So make sure you are a member of Startup WA. It's 100% free. You'll get their newsletters and hear about what's happening. So yeah, just make sure you're a member of Startup WA, subscribe to Startup News, and also Tech Board, go and subscribe to their things, kind of like the Deal Room. In fact, Deal Room is based on data from Tech Board. So if you put your startup on Tech Board and put announcements and things on that, it should flow up to Deal Room as well. But yeah, these guys are the OGs of Deal Room, I guess. So get on them, and especially if you want to get in front of investors and stuff. They've got a very investor-focused audience. They put out funding reports every month and things too. And Plus 8, an awesome program if you want to learn to become a better investor. They've got an accelerator every year, and you can pay the money and go through a program and learn how to be an awesome entrepreneur. Okay, we are Morning Startup on all things. We've got a Slack group. We've got an email address. That's how cool we are. contact@morningstartup.com. If you want to pitch, that's who you email. It comes to me and Dave. And we're Morning Startup on all things, so please go and subscribe to our stuff and you'll get announced. Like LinkedIn and Twitter is probably the key ones to go and connect with us. All right. That's formalities out of the way. Boom. I love it. All right, so we're ready to go. So like I said, we're going to give these startups 5 minutes. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. I'm going to clap you out at 5 minutes, all right? And then we're going to open up to 3 minutes or so of Q&A. Has everyone got their thinking caps on? Want to help them out with a question? I did have actually an investor that was going to come and ask some questions, but he just messaged me saying he's actually in the emergency department for some reason, so that's a shame. Anyway, so we're going to open up to you guys, and first up, we have Georgia, who doesn't have a slide deck, so I'll just leave this up, if that's all right, as your background. And this is her first time pitching, so on you for doing it. Let's go. Please make welcome Georgia.
Hello. Yes. I would just like to preface this by saying I've never pitched before. Oh, sorry, I just messed up your thing. I clearly don't know what I'm doing, but I thought I'd just get up and give it a go.
Sorry, I haven't even started the timer yet, so it's all good. I'll just get this back up.
Oh, great.
Play slideshow. There we go.
Perfect.
All right. Hang on. Let me start the timer. Does anyone want to be the timer? No, fine.
Look, I don't think I'm going to talk for 5 minutes, so...
5 minutes. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So I'm pitching today my startup idea, which is Digidex, so foolproof filing for any business. So Digidex is a software that is a downloadable filing structure for any business. It integrates with your existing data storage systems, such as Dropbox, and has customizable elements and industry-specific selections when you sign up. So you'll go through, you'll pick your industry, you customize to the level that you need, and then you get your filing structure that can be downloaded and integrated with whatever existing data storage platform you use in your business. And then obviously you get a host of features that go with that. It's part of the program. Digidex for me was born out of my real world experience working, I work contract work, and so working at a variety of companies. Every time I came in, I'd found there'd often been employee turnover, or they were just kind of starting new projects, and there was no sort of universal filing system. There was no guideline of how to use it. They were often hyper-personalised. So whoever had been in the job before me had filed. Pet peeve for me is a file that might be one that I experienced last week, Alex's file. Thanks, Alex. I don't know who you are or what you did or what is in your file. Very hard to find all the documents. And so over the course of probably the last 5-6 years at these various companies, I've been tasked with and volunteered to reorganise their filing structures for them. So start from scratch, go in, have a look at what they have, understand a bit about the business and their output, and then redesign them so that they come with a set of guidelines and rules, which are fairly easy to use and follow. And so that's how the idea for Digidex came about, that this is something that I feel a lot of businesses face. Considering the businesses I worked for, some were a team of 5 and some were a team of 55. Some grew at peak capacity to a team of 2,000 people. So I think they're, medium upwards. They see it was a problem that was faced by, various companies in various ways. And so I felt there was a real need for something out there that is just really easy to use and very accessible. So Digidex's aim is to provide companies with a sort of universal filing system that is customisable to their industry and to their specific business wants and needs. The idea is low effort, maximum return. We want this to be super simple, user-friendly, an easy interface to integrate with, and something that is more of an addition. It's an elevation to your admin. It's to alleviate stress. It is not another program you need to have a huge amount of knowledge to use, and it doesn't just fit within a specific space, such as, it's not just targeting the finance element of your business. It's something that will apply across the holistic area of your company. So the nuts and bolts of Digidex, when you sign up, you get the filing structure that you can download into whatever storage platform you use, whether it's Dropbox, Google Drive, your desktop, doesn't matter. Hopefully in future iterations it would also talk to things like your Gmail or your Outlook as well, so if you wanted to replicate filing structures within your emails you could do that, but I think that's maybe a little further down the line than initial phases. You would be able to customise things such as, does your company operate on financial year or calendar year? Are you project or client-based or product-based? So you can select these things when you sign up, and then it customises based on that. There will be a templates section within the software. So if you, for instance, you have a client based and you've only got 5 clients at the moment, you get your 5 client folders, but as you add more, you just hit add for the template and it will replicate your template. So it can just keep building. You don't need to manually go through and rebuild all the structures. Great search function. As we know, sometimes it's much easier just to search the name of a document. And to complement this, there would also come with a naming convention that you can download into your Word or Excel, so that all employees will have a certain structure that they have to name their files through, which makes searching a huge amount easier, so people don't call things sort of random names that no one can decipher. And when you're reading through, your list of documents in your file, you're like, what is XYPT draft 1? It'll have a structure that the business can set up when you subscribe and then is implemented through all documents. It's a suggestion, so you can break these rules should you choose, but it would be highly recommended not to. It'll come with a holding pen, so for those moments when you...
Nice one. Cool. So you didn't quite get it under the 3 minutes, but
yeah,
that's all right. That's all
waffled
good.
a little.
Did you have much more to go through?
Just a few more features and then probably just the target market.
We'll move over to questions and maybe they'll be answered by that. So does anyone have any questions? Patrick?
Yes.
What's the name? Spell?
Digidex?
Yeah.
Yeah, Digidex.
DEX.
Yeah.
Can I find it now?
Sorry?
Can I find it now?
No, it's not in existence. It's an idea. Yes, yeah.
Sorry, forgot about
And
this.
still probably a slightly working title. I think the research I did that there was no other sort of filing company called Digidex, but in the greater world there is. So at the moment I'm going with it because it's what I know, but I think come launch day I might need to come up with something just a little bit more like when you Google it, that's it. Do you need this? Yeah, well, I mean, I'm looking for more customer research if anyone wants to come and chat.
Georgia, well done for standing up and pitching.
Thank you.
My name is Martin. In the spirit of feedback,
Yes.
I'll tell you 2-3 points and then I'll pass it on to someone else. First thing is, what about me? Do you know what my problems are? Or have you somehow included me in the discussion? I know that when I'm looking at instructions on pitching, it's one of the things that is suggested to set up the scene. Try to include the audience right away so that it's very clear that it's not all about you, it's about how you can help.
Yep.
Another thing is you happen to be in a bit of my space, which is in data and information management, and I can tell you some of the objections or headwinds that are going to come your way. One is going to be security. Clients are going to ask about what about security? And another one is, are you using any standards? Are you implementing any standards? So these are just 2 of many of the notes I took as things that you need to have thought about and have an answer for. Finally, it's important to end with an ask or an invitation. Should you want to know more about this, please give me a call and I'll be delighted to give you a demonstration.
Yeah.
Well done.
Okay, thanks. Great feedback.
Do you have any answers to those? The security questions or?
I mean, the ask, yes. Help me make this happen, please. Yeah, look, the security, I think because we're not storing the data, that would still be on your existing platform. I mean, I'm not a tech person, so I wouldn't be coding it or building it, unfortunately. So I don't know the sort of technical terms for what security measures they could put in place, but it's definitely something I'm thinking about looking into. But yeah, from the sort of point of view is that we wouldn't be taking responsibility for the actual documents you store, just the structure that you put in place. And so that would be on a backup. So if your computer system got wiped for some reason, we could re-provide you with your structure and all your customizations, not the content though. That is technically stored in whatever your storage system already is, such as Dropbox or your desktop. That's sort of, your actual content of the files is still the customer's responsibility.
G'day. I thought that was pretty good. I actually thought you were talking directly to me because this is something that I think I need and want to impose on all the companies that I deal with as well. So my probably a point is that the key to this one seems to be the integrations with the other software.
Yes.
Otherwise, it sounds like it's almost a bunch of folders within folders, empty folders that you would download, and those kind of configurations seem to be things that everyone would like to have their say on exactly how that is, and templating as well. You touched on as well, but I think the challenge you will have is for your MVP or your phase one is going, I want to restrict it to integrating with these particular platforms before you go on to others. But integrations, in my experience, tend to be, you don't know how complicated they are until you get into it. So that will be the challenge for funding and timing.
I agree. Definitely the initial talks that I've had with some tech companies, the sort of costings for the integration is huge if you wanted to do more than one, and they're like, just start with one, like the main one, and which is great. But I come from the same school of thought of, I think it's the integration factor that makes this kind of more universally appealing and applicable. So hopefully something that I'm pretty determined to work on should it get up and running.
So having scoped these kinds of projects before, that seems to be the challenge, is getting startups to stick to that key MVP, and then have your other phases after that. The only other thing I'd say is, and to quote Futurama, it's a great name and the X makes it sound cool. So I'd stick with DigiDex.
Oh, thank you.
I love it.
Also love
awesome.
Futurama.
Okay, well, I know we've got a few more pitches to go through, so thank you so much, Georgia, for getting up here and giving it a go. Well done.
Thank you.
Give a round of applause. And again, if you have any more feedback, hang around afterwards and have a chat.
Yeah, and similarly, if you need someone to help you with filing, come and chat, because I'm always happy to do customer research.
Fantastic. All right. Oh, thanks. I'll just pop that down there. So next up, we have, let's pull up the next pitch. I believe it was Jojo from EduGraph. Let's head over here. No. Where's my... Yeah. Go, EduGraph. Oh, come on, tech. There we go. All right. Anyone you like. And all right. So here we have Jojo from EduGraph. Please make him welcome.
Morning.
Your time starts now.
So my name is Jojo. I'm the founder of EduGraph. So first I would like to draw attention to school kids. So they are mostly disengaged in classes, and So they're mostly disengaged in classes, and they don't show interest in studies sometimes. So what we find is that teachers are usually loaded with a lot of lessons, but they can't attend to every student properly. So this brings a lot of challenges to students who are either weak in classes, or sometimes who are very, very brilliant, who are not challenged enough. So yeah, recently I had been working with as a volunteer in a school, and I found that many students are like lose their interest and they don't know what is going on in class. So I help them to get back into getting interest in the classes. So as a result, the solution I found was actually to found a platform that can help students to get engaged in their lessons. So that's the reason here. The problem is huge, and so the solution that I found is a platform. So I thought of finding a platform in which they have a very they create learning environment in which they can a friendly environment in which they can learn better. So their tech industry is huge globally, and I have initially started working on two areas in which one is India and one is in Australia. So the technology solution possible in India and Australia are also like about 3 to 4% of the global market, and so EduGraph has built a platform which can at least we can address at least 1% of this market. So the solution that we think is one-on-one interactive lessons and also small groups. So here in this one, we also think of having customization, so in which we can provide lessons to the student as per their need. So for every lesson, we can customize it and also get feedback from the students and also improve the tutor creativity. This means tutors can be creative in every lesson as they proceed with the lessons. So we have a product in which we have the various elements integrated into one solution as a platform. And we have interactive lessons as well as content management for the students. Yeah, so we are actually getting into more partnerships, trying to get into more partnerships with different tutors, because tutors can be the voice of the company and they can like build the business using referrals, and we can engage in partnerships with them. So I'm Jojo. I have experience in different industries. So I with my passion for helping students and building up, I thought of getting into this business, and I'm a full-time founder in this business, and I have different experience in different industries. So the competition is from different companies. Mainly, these are the Australian companies, some of them. So here, EduGraph is trying to differentiate itself by providing a customization again, and also international expansion, because we have a presence in India as well. So we can leverage that and try to include other companies, other tutoring companies, and partnership with them as well. Even provide a solution, software as a solution to them. So with validation, we have completed around 4,000 hours of tutoring. So most of them is from using Indian tutors. So we have Australian tutors as well, but the majority, because of the availability of Indian tutors, we had more of them. And so we have a learning hub, which is actually a customization tool which helps. And we make revenue by subscription model. So right now we are trying to pivot mainly by including a marketplace model, which simply means we are trying tutors and students to interact with each other because right now with a subscription model, we are getting involved directly to help them to find each other. But right now we are trying to automate this process by putting the marketplace integrated into the subscription as well. So this is working on this part. And so we started in 2020, operation in 2020. And right now we are looking for more strategic partnerships with other education companies. And also in the future, we look at franchising model or even hybrid learning, in which some students can learn from remotely, and some of them can be in the classroom, physical classrooms. So the ask is again for alliances and partnership with companies, co-creation, and channel partnerships. Thank you.
All right.
But on time.
Yeah, the time flies by when you're up there. Cool. Let's stop. Questions? Feedback? All right.
Yes.
I've got actually. Who are your main customers? Is it like university students, primary school students,
It's
all of the above?
school students.
School students.
School kids, yeah.
So
Up to year 12.
Up to year 12. Okay. Gotcha. Oh, just on the questions, keep them short, so we want to hear them speak rather than you. Not a criticism on you, Jim, but just...
I know what you're saying. Your main source of tutors. I know there's a market for older students to tutor younger students. Is that catered for in this?
We are actually open to primary as well as secondary school students, both. We get more high school students, but primary students are a bit difficult to tutor online sometimes. But then when they come, we don't say no. But usually my target is from year 6 to year 12. But sometimes they come small class as well.
Who's your competition?
So competition, mainly companies like Chloe Learning, which is in the eastern states, in Australia. In India, we have a lot of competitors, like big companies as well, like Vedantu are like billion-dollar companies. So actually, there are a lot of small companies, medium companies in this industry. So the market is huge. The companies are too many. It's not countless, you can say.
So it's good because it validates, there's a business and your idea is being done by other people. How do you compete with them? Like, what's your unique differentiator?
So the differentiator is like the learning hub. We have a learning hub in which we are trying to customize the lessons. So we give the freedom to tutors to pick content based on what the student needs every lesson. So this is a process of also guiding the tutors because we need to teach them or guide them through this process. Otherwise, they wouldn't care to really connect with the right content.
And the other vendors don't have anything like that?
Sorry?
The other competition doesn't have anything like that to help guide tutors?
Yeah, most of them have moved on from, with the funding, we have moved on from like big groups, and most of them try to sell content, standard content, which makes sense because they have volume of students. So we are small right now. Actually, my aim right now is to make a group of at least 3 or 4 students. So it's more personalized.
Okay. Sorry, I don't want to hog all the questions.
Does it speak with the schools in order to customise the lessons and find out what the kids need? Do you get feedback from the schools to see how the tutoring is being successful? And also, is there an element to cater for kids with additional needs like autism, ADHD, dyslexia? Are they able to sort of nominate that and so it can be factored in?
With schools, we don't have any type of schools right now. We ask the parent to provide what is the lesson plan in school. And so that's how we interact with not with the schools, but directly with the parent. So that helps us. If the parent cooperates, we can help them more. So that's how it works. But with the disability sector, we haven't really got into it. But really with the kind of partnerships we are trying to get into, we can perhaps move into that area soon. Like we want to do that.
Fantastic. Any other feedback, questions? Well, how'd you go? 10 out of 10? 7? 6? Woo! All right. Thanks, Jojo. Legend. All right. Thank you very much. Who have we got next? Let's have a look. I'm just going through alphabetical. All right. We've got Locus LMS. Go. Let's play that in a slideshow. Come on. Alrighty, there is your microphone. So here we have Avi from Locus LMS. Please make him welcome and I'll find my phone. Where did my phone go for the timer? It's in my back pocket. Sorry about that. All right, your time starts now.
Hey everybody, I'm Avi, and today I'm going to be talking about Locus LMS. So what is an LMS? LMS stands for Learning Management System, and it's what universities and course providers use to manage their courses. What we do is we integrate it with AI so that it's affordable for students. You get 24/7 tutoring, and for teachers, they get live analytics and automated grading as well. Okay. Our journey so far, around 2 months ago, I approached my course provider at the moment that I'm partnering with a proof of concept, and they said, let's go, let's build it. We built it for in-class live activities. After that, I worked with the instructor to build some of those dashboards and analytics. So that's the second month. And now this month, we're working with overseas pedagogy experts to see, can we actually build a full course, a full unit using the platform? So I'll give you a short example of some of the activities that we've built so far. So here we have short answers, so students can work with the AI to help them improve their short answer questions. Okay, this is quite important for more of the soft skills, so history, economics, and so forth. We have multiple choice. Teachers would run this in class as an activity, and then directly after the activity, they get analytics and insights based with AI. So it tells you students are lacking in this, they need to have more experience in this, for example. We also have notebooks, so these are like slides. You go through them on a manual basis. AI teaches for you. Okay, so you prep it, and then it teaches. And most course providers will have their own, PDFs and slides. And what we do is we can also integrate those slides with AI. In terms of the current case study that we have going on, the current cohort has been going for 12 weeks. We came in the middle, and it's coming to the tail end. It'll be ending next week. Okay, so there was 30 students in there. It's an in-person cohort. We've collected some NPS scores, as you can see there, so around 50% of the students. So this is students. We haven't collected any information about instructors yet. That's still to be done. And as a result of this case study, we have collected some examples and use cases that we'll be making into a case study. What's around the corner? This quarter, we set the target to reach some sort of MVP, validate all our hypotheses. This might go on for another quarter, depending on how this month goes. Next quarter, we're looking to finalize our case studies and then start our B2B offering. With those case studies, start approaching other course providers that might be in a similar situation of wanting to get into an LMS that has these extra activities. And then finally, in quarter 4, we're looking to build a marketplace, so you can build your own courses on it using this, and then that essentially becomes your B2C offering. About me, I'm a full-stack software engineer at RiseX, so that's another startup. I've been cybersecurity instructor at the University of Adelaide online, and also full-stack instructor at the University of UWA. These are all boot camps. So the platform is, from the start, secure, compliant. It's serverless, so it's infinitely scalable as long as you have enough money. And it's built for teachers and for students in mind. In terms of Locus itself, the mission is to become the world's #1 edtech provider, and the vision is of a world where learning is for everyone. If you want to get involved, if you're related to a course provider and you'd like to see those case studies when they come out, please feel free to reach out. I'll send them to you. If you're a freelance course creator, you might be interested when our marketplace comes out. So again, reach out, and then I'll notify you when our marketplace offering is up there. And if you just want to keep in touch, feel free to have a chat with me afterwards, and we can exchange details. And that's it. Thank you.
Wow, good job. All right, with 1 minute and 10 to spare. So you did go over the 3 minutes, but
Yes.
you're under 5, so we're good. Sorry. Sorry, live stream. Questions?
Avi, brilliant.
Thank you.
But I just want to focus on the word LMS,
Yes.
which in the world of business means something different.
All right.
And it means learning management system is sort of that really compliance, SCORM compliance. I mean, this is my space. I know the work. I know what it is, right? So I'd be wondering whether or not there isn't a different term that you can use, because LMS is understood in business to be something very different to what you're describing. I'm not making a comment about what you're building there. It's only that.
Yeah.
Second one, is there anything around XAPI in there?
About what, sir?
Tin Can or XAPI?
No.
Have a look at it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's amazing. That's just a bit of feedback. Thanks.
Okay.
mate.
Cool. Thank you. So I think for the first one, in terms of this product, it's not marketed yet. So we wanted to kind of get product market fit. And I think the thing with AI is a lot of big course providers are coming in a bit slow, just because there's a lot of hype, there's a lot of marketing, and also a lot of negative media sometimes about AI and its use in education, right? So we're kind of waiting to get proper case studies, proper metrics before actually sitting down with marketing professionals and sales professionals and crafting that message. So if you try to go on, for example, locus.app, locus.com.au, there's nothing there, right? And that's for good reason. Until we're ready to launch, then we'll look to launch. That's very good feedback. And I suspect that's going to be something that will come up again, definitely.
And just on the word LMS, like if you're in the edutech game, it is a really common term. Like you go to any edutech conference, it's LMS. So it's a pretty well-known term. One thing for me, like LMSs are really frothy. Like there's hundreds of them, Schoolbox and Canvas and Sector and all of that stuff. I guess at the start to say there's lots of LMSs out there. They have this problem. And what is that problem? And why are you driving to develop Locus LMS? What are they missing that you're getting?
In expect a little bit more. I would say XAPI does more of what you're talking about than what LMS does.
Right.
So have a look.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I guess perhaps the word LMS does cause a lot of, and I think I've learned that through this conversation, that it does cause a lot of different meanings in different people's heads, just because there are many different offerings out there and many other competitors. In terms of what this specific offering is giving, it's a lot of the automation that if you're teaching more of the hard sciences, so let's say programming, mathematics, sciences, it's very easy to give a yes or no answer. Like for example, say you do a programming exercise, you complete the programming exercise, you can validate yes or no, this is correct. That's quite hard to do if you're looking at philosophy, economics, and other more of the softer skills. And that's what we look to cover here. We're looking to get some of that grading and also some of that tutoring help for students, where most of those soft skills at the moment have been slowly being phased out just because it's very resource intensive. You need a lot of tutors, you need a lot of instructors to really be able to teach it properly. And a lot of course providers are kind of avoiding the soft skills, which we don't want, right? We love soft skills. We think history, art, philosophy, they're important, economics, stuff like that, and this would help there.
The AI stuff is pretty neat too.
Thank you.
That's cool. Do you have a question?
Thanks for your presentation, really good. I think there's a lot of maybe fear out there that students get too dependent on AI. How do you ensure there's a balance between making sure that they're using AI to help complement their studies rather than get too dependent on them?
Yeah. So I think a lot of course providers at the moment are, I don't know if this is the right word, but in denial, in the sense that students are using AI tools, like you mentioned, right? They are using them, both on a primary level, high school level, even higher education levels, right? So in universities, they're going to use this, they are using it. We just need to start controlling that conversation, giving a platform for saying this is fine, right? And this might not help your learning, and this will help your learning. Right, so we want to build those tools that help learning. We want to get students on those tools that help learning, and we want them to avoid the tools that, just give away the answer or don't let students think, for example. So yeah.
Excellent. All right. Thank you very much, Avi. Woo. Cool. All right. So we put a pass. Now we've got a few more one more with the slide deck. I think Eco, you're up. And then we'll go on to the late editions. All right, let's get into that. Where are we? Vooglu pitch deck. I love the cover slide. 14 billion already. That's good. All right. Please make him welcome Echo from Vooglu. All right, you ready? Time starts now.
$14 billion. That's the Vooglu future annual recurring revenue. So how do we want to achieve this? We are solving one of the most prominent problem in the art industry, and that is the loss of authenticity value of artworks. And how do we solve this? We are using our technology to permanently glue artworks and their digital data. So the digital data is also the story of the artwork itself, such as the video, story description, and the most important one that lost in the current industry is the provenance of the art. And this problem is actually valued at $688 billion annually in the art industry globally. So I'm talking about the problem, but what it looks like, right? So what it looks like, let's say, is any of you has an art in your at your workspace or at your home right now? And thank you. So do you know the current valuation of that artwork? So if the answer is no, or if the answer is, well, it's similar when I bought it, then you are part of the loss of authenticity value itself. So that's what we are trying to solve. And what's the future of our company? It's simply a decentralization of art securitization using fragmented and NFT technology. So we have 250 years art business experience in our advisory board combined. And this is in the commercial sector, such as Linton and Kay, in the public sector, Duncan Ort and Max Hipkins. And also a well-known artist, Brendan Darby, and founders also involved, Brian Carroll Hopkins. And the good news, we have a patent of our technology in USA, and we just received the certificate last week. What's the next in the 3 years? So we're gonna start from Minneapolis and Perth. That's our first market. And from that, we're gonna expand to Australia and US. And then after the 3 years, we're gonna start with developing the additional products, the decentralized art securitization. So this is the founder. My name is Eko. I'm working with Fuglu as an all-around wrangler. And this is, and we are looking for 5 million investment as a Series A. So even if you are not an investor, if you are interested to talk about the company itself, I will be here during the networking session. And this is the example of our product. So this is a smart QR code. So whenever an artist uploads their data and their artwork, they can actually print the QR code and attach it with their artwork, and so people can scan the artwork and see what's behind the artwork itself. So that's it from me. Thank you very much.
Well done. And 1:16 to spare. Good job. Okay, so questions. My question is, how many paying subscribers do you have right now?
I believe we have 50 paying subscribers right now.
So it's quite a way to go to 17,000. How are you going to make that happen?
So the paying subscribers will come from artists, art gallery, and art owners. So our customers is coming in the whole ecosystem of the artwork. So that's why I said if you have an artwork and then you don't know how to resell it, but you want to refresh your collection, it's also part of our customer area.
So they would subscribe to your
service.
service.
So they're going to subscribe, yeah.
At an amount of, do you know what the pricing is?
So currently for artists, it's a $96 annually. For art owner, it's similar, $96 annually. So it's helped them to make their collection, to refresh their collection as a part of an investment.
Who owns artwork? Would you pay $96 a year for this?
No, I haven't quite understood.
Hello, so I'm not a professional, I'm an art owner, and I haven't quite understood the value to me of the proposition, but I may not be a potential client.
Yes.
But I'm just answering Scott's question here.
Thanks, good figure.
Yes, so the value proposition for the art owner is to help them to refresh their collection. So whenever you buy an art, you're probably interested with the new art and the support the artist itself, right? So it's giving So in a very sense, it's helping you to resell the old art in a proper price. So in a way, it's going to increase the value of the art. So annually, an art value increase around 30% to 30%. So if let's say you have the artwork for 2 years, then it's probably already increased already the value. And it depends on the artist itself, especially if the artist is no longer producing the artwork.
So your customers are people looking to resell their art at some point, not
yes,
hold on to
everyone
art
will
forever?
want to sell art. That's basically
Everyone wants to sell
customer.
art.
Yes.
Do you want to sell your art?
No.
Do you want to sell your art?
Eventually.
Eventually? Okay.
How does the evaluation process work? So if I've got an artwork, but I can't remember how much I paid for it because it was years ago, and I know the name of the artist.
Yes.
How does your product
So that's where the
value
gallery.
it?
That's where you connect it with the gallery. So well,
So I have to do all that work first.
No. So that's the thing that we are trying to solve, right? So because there you have a treasury, you are part of our treasury, the gallery will immediately know, oh, okay, so this artist is already growing their value for a certain amount, so your valuation is going to be increased, and you can immediately connect the gallery that you probably get sales anyway.
I still don't understand. Sorry.
So
Sorry, how do you know? So if I'm just an art owner and I sign up to your app and say this is my artwork, but it's not, like, how do you know how much it's worth initially to then know how much it grows? Like, who does that evaluation?
So you put your price that when you bought it, right? So it's so you might not be the one who up. So if it's uploaded by you, but it's you are not the artist, then you might want to check out who's the you might want to give us understanding of who's the artist first, and then we try to see where they go forward. So there is a little bit curation process from us. So is this a pass of this artist's artwork, and what the authenticity of this artwork itself. So let's say it's a copy of an artwork, like a merchandise artwork. So we have the AI to check out, oh, this is actually a copy, not the original one.
And that factors in prints, like an artist who maybe only does like 10 prints of something and you've bought one.
Yes. So that's, including that.
Okay. Alrighty. Any other questions? Cool. I think probably the main feedback is just trying to get to that value proposition as you can, quickly as you can.
A couple of hypotheticals, just so, again, I can understand the product. One is I'm an artist, and this seems good, linking artworks with each other and then providing a backstory to each of the artworks as well.
Yes.
So as an artist, you do want to kind of link that out and show kind of essentially a portfolio and a trail that I've sold other artworks to these people, and these are the valuations. On the other hand, I'm an art thief, and you're now collating all this information. What does it look like, or what balance are you going to strike between providing and publishing a certain amount of information on artworks out there and who they go to, versus I don't want it to be known that I have this $5 million painting in my house?
Sorry, I would like to reiterate the question. Are you art thief or are you art forgery?
The point is there's got to be a balance in what data you publish.
Yes.
And how are you, there's extremes at each end. So where are you kind of settling on in terms of what information?
So there is a way that we do that. So when the art is moving around, we track the location. So if it's not similar with the previous location, there's going to be an alert with the artist. Oh, there's actually is this the right location? The location of your artwork right now. So that's one of doing that. But if there's a copy of an artwork that is uploaded to our website, to our platform, it's gonna say like, Oh, actually, there's an artwork with this imprint in our website, in our platform right now.
All right. Okay. I think we'll have to continue on, but thank you very much, Echo. Woo. Oh, another bit. I can't click that link to book a meeting with Brian, so probably a QR code or something on the slide is a better thing for... All right. So I think that's it for the slide deck slides. So we've got a couple of late pictures. Let me get my background up here. It's a little bit better. Cool. Who wants to go first? So it was you and you. Come on, bring it on. Let me just get a nice background going here. There we go.
Practice.
Oh, getting serious. Okay. Sorry, what's your name?
Curtis.
Curtis, what are you pitching?
Water
Water.
for farm.
I think everyone needs that. Okay, good. All right. Your time.
You can call me Thunder. That's a bit of a nickname for me from the farm. All right, rightio.
All right. Please make you welcome, Curtis. Pitching water.
Yep.
Your time starts now.
How's me luck? It's raining, and I'm talking about lack of rain. Perth's a bit wet. Rightio. Earth, energy and water. Water for farms. Greener grasses, greener than the bloody whacker. 3 minutes, not a lot of time.
We'll give you 5.
But do you understand drought? Have you experienced drought? Do you understand salinity? Have you experienced groundwater salinity? Do you have a veggie garden? Do you know how to grow food? But how can you if you've got no water or you've got saline water? How do we grow food without water? My objective is to demonstrate the economics and environmental and sustainability in a plan to drought-proof and reduce the effect of dryland salinity on Australian farms. How? By using the salt water as a solution to the issue of lack of water quality in times of the dry. Livestock water, drinking water and pastoral grasses with salt water. Sorry.
Paper.
Oh, nervous. Right. With severe climate changes predicted, if we're not limiting our emissions of greenhouse gases, El Nino, that's the one that's approaching us. We need to investigate and have solutions for water security, food security for today, not by 2030. How much time do we have? Any questions? That's the end of it, really. Quick and quick.
Wow, and you go down to 3 minutes. Well done.
Well, it's engaging with the audience, because that's what I generally do, is talk to farmers and listen to them. Yes,
okay.
Sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well done again to stand up. Now, again, in the spirit of feedback, I didn't quite get the name of the venture you are pitching. I didn't quite get who you're talking to. Is it other people in the agriculture business?
Well, yeah, I did
investors?
I was asking for the room if there are any farmers present, but I crossed that out. But I call myself Ardith Energy and Water because I'm from Ardith. It's a little village out the Bruce Wright Corrigan Road. It's a pub and a wheat silo. Okay. So Perth is pretty fancy to me, and but that's my background. I'm a 5th generation farmer.
So you may want to either have it up or have it on a card or articulate it really slow so we remember this, because that will be an anchor from that conversation afterwards as we walk away. What was this guy's name and what was this guy's venture? But if you've really conveyed the name of the company, that may be one of the anchors. And the last thing is, what are you actually proposing to me as part of your audience here? I didn't quite get what the ask. What's the next step if I'm interested in knowing more, which I am?
Practice. But look, I go to farm groups. Like tomorrow in a room full of farmers, I'm listening to them, and then I step up and do a 5-minute pitch sort of thing in regards to what I'm trying to showcase. So there's equipment off the shelf. I'm a experienced process operator from the heavy industry and processing of mining, so I've done a lot of work with water quality, but I'm also aware of the issues being a farm boy as such. My family is still farmers out there as such, but it's coming up with a solution utilising the problem, which is salt water, as a solution to lack of water as such. So, but yeah, it's practicing in a room full of like-minded people, and I like the support.
Awesome. So just so I get it, you're using off-the-shelf kind of equipment to help turn salt water into water that people can use to irrigate their farms.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So is it productised? Do you have something that you can
rightio. Well, it's utilising equipment off the shelf called HydroSmart. It was a piece of engineering solution to the mechanical fault of blockages in pipe work. So you get build-up mineralisation in pipes, and it utilises radio high frequency to make the water vibrate like under an ultrasonic cleaner. And now the water molecule is vibrating and cleaning the pipe. Now what they've noticed though is that through their clients' feedback that they had salt water running through the pipeline and plants were growing off this salt water and livestock were drinking this salt water. Now what it is that your water molecule is vibrating at a harmony vibration. So it's a beneficial effect. So because we all vibrate at a certain level. Now what's happening is that plants and livestock are now to tolerate more salt in the water. And what's happening is that with trials they've done with tomatoes, their tomato plants were larger in volume, but still the same sort of minerals from freshwater irrigation with saltwater irrigation. So this is the mind-blowing thing where low saline water was used to irrigate tomatoes. They had bigger tomatoes because there was more water volume in the fruit, but still the same sort of mineral makeup as your normal plants. But it's salt water. So that's mind-blowing, isn't it? Like you're using salt water to grow food.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Now I've got a theory of how to push seawater through the HydroSmart units to get plant growth as such. So I'm going to be running trials. I'm engaging with farmers to run trials. I've been talking to the DPERB as such and government departments in regard. So Department of Water in Bunbury are interested in a 12-month trial. City of Busselton, I'm from Busselton, so I'm patient, fishing off the jetty, so I'm not in a rush like the rest of you guys. But like they have given me a location of land on the Vash foreshore to run seawater trials with native plant irrigation of seawater as such. So it's just to run trials at this stage, but it's like globally 1% of water supply is your rain and surface water for farms, right? 2% is then locked up in groundwater, which is in decline, and 3% is glacial water, which is in decline as well. And then the 97% that's left over is seawater, which is minimal use with desalination. But by utilising HydroSmart, we can now utilise that 97% of total water supply globally for farmland irrigation. That's the extent of what I'm trying to put forward to people where, we're under threat of climate change catastrophe due to lack of rainfall because we've now got reducing water security and food security.
Curtis, I love this half of your presentation, right? You just talking, mate. This is your story. This is your passion. This is what you've got to say. Get up here and just talk.
Yes, I know that, where I've kicked some goals where I'll get in front of a room full of farmers and go, I'm trying to address your problems. I've listened to you, and I'm coming from you, because I know what it's like to go through drought and salinity and your livestock are suffering. What do you do?
Yeah. I saw more heads nod when you got into that more casual part of the pitch rather than the reading from the notes. It was good passion there. That was awesome. All right. Well done, Curtis. Nice one. Okay, and we got one more. How you all feeling? One more, all right. And then we'll have food and networking after this. Your name is?
Andrew.
Andrew, and you are pitching?
Nothing really.
Here's Andrew pitching nothing. Thank you, welcome.
I'm going to pitch a company, but that's a story for later because I don't need to sell anything.
Go.
So, first question I have, and I heard something you say, I'm nervous, right? So, nervous and excited to people watching means the same thing. So, get up in front of a group of people and go, I'm excited, because it looks exactly the same, right? So, little trick for you. Hey, I've got a question for you. What are some of the things no one has ever said ever? Tell me. Like, there's too much bacon in the burger. Something like that. Come on, anybody.
Oh man, put us on the spot.
I know, right?
How many of those things?
Yeah? I got one.
Beer's too cold?
Yeah, oh yeah, good one. Yeah, okay, beer's too cold. Something like that. So I got another one for you, and this is sort of aligned with the pitch. And it's a sort of a tweak on the one, I'm here from the government and I'm here to help you. Says no one ever. But I got one. I'm from HR, and I'm here to help you. That's sort of my twist on it, because that's sort of where I come from. I come from a background in learning and development, as sort of was alluded to in one of the previous pitches, when I mentioned something. And I recognised something, and I got it from my son, who actually did a startup. And he's from Perth, but has moved on since and is doing really well and employs 100 people. And he came back last year about this time. And I said, what's your biggest problem? Guess what his biggest problem is?
People.
People. I said, what's wrong with people? Oh, I don't know what they should do. Like, don't you feel like, you've got two people who come up with an idea and suddenly a whole lot of people want to give you money, and you've got to grow and you've got to get 100 people in your business and you've got to go worldwide and you've got to go big, because that's scale up. And then you go, I don't know what they should be doing. I don't know how to make them work. I don't know what they should be delivering. I only go to them when I've got a problem. When they're not doing what I want, then I know. And we tried to solve that problem, and we think we've solved it. We're going to pitch a company called Masterly, with an I, masterly.co. We've registered the name in the UK. We pitched it to a couple of investors. So I checked this morning, got over £100,000 in the bank, ready to go. I got nothing. I got nothing but an idea, 2 customers, a minimum viable product out of Excel spreadsheets, which we print on a Word document and send them a final report. What else have we got? We've got a website, but it's got nothing on it. So I booked a plane ticket last night. We're going to, first of all, because he lives in Finland, I'm going to go there first, but then probably end up something like Estonia or Latvia. I've got to find a CTO, a tech person who can build what I want. So what do I want? I want to solve this problem for scale-ups of how to manage your people. And I know that everybody hates the term performance management. So if anyone's got a great word for me, please tell me, because I'm still thinking about it. I want to articulate exactly what each person should do, because they don't know. How big's the problem? Well, he's on a database himself. He did a bit of a filtering. 7,700 companies in the last reporting period are in this phase. Oh, that's just in the UK, the US and Australia, because those were the countries we understand. Oh, sorry, so huge market. I'm not interested in big business. They got their own problems and they think they got their own solutions. It's not the market we're going to play in to begin with. But if we can define what every person should do very clearly, and the skills that they need to do it, then we can create a development plan and we can build a performance model for scale-ups. So startups going through to, the 100-person type business size. At $20 a month for every employee. I haven't fixed a price yet. I don't know what it's going to cost, but let's just say something small like that. They can stop worrying about what each person in the business needs to do, because we're going to use artificial intelligence as a background checker to make sure that the information we give people is sort of about right. Then they can validate this between the manager and the person themselves and say, yep, that is what we want this job to do. So my son is in a wearable technology business. And he wanted to employ a chief medical officer. How do I recruit one? What do I get at her? Because now I know who it is, so I said her. How do I tell her what to do? Oh, I don't know anything about this. Let's run it through our model. Boomity 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 boom. Within 5 minutes we had a profile. And we did it longhand. If we build a platform that can do that. So I turned up here today not thinking I was going to do this, but anyway. There you
I love the casual style of it. It's like, yeah, I've got nothing. I don't know what I'm doing, but yeah, this is generally it, rather than a very formal pitch. Very good. Any feedback, questions? I do see another person in the room that's sort of working on, making sure people are in the right place at the right time and, fixing gaps, cracks and overlaps. And that's, anyway. Yes, we got a few. Go for it.
Thank you. So, there's a TED talk called "How Do You Make a Toast," and it's a strategy design.
Brilliant.
Yes. So I think is it that way that you are trying to looking
I know
for?
I know what it is. No, it's much simpler than that.
Okay.
Much simpler than that.
Yeah. Because I think that's for a scale up, we are constantly workshopping people, right? Like this is what, and the strategy or where we are going is always changed.
Yep.
Even for Fuglu, I think if I go 1 year ago, I think we are gonna have a different pitch than today.
Yep.
So
no, I know what that is. I've seen it. It's brilliant. It's in its own little niche and it does its own thing, but it's a lot of facilitating, a lot of work, whatever. If we can't get a person to have a job profile within 5 minutes, we failed. And I reckon it'll take less than that. Yeah.
Hi, thanks for your casual style. I guess if you're going to throw a question like that out to the audience, make it really clear, make it really specific about your problem that you're solving.
Yeah.
Something like, what is the problem that most scale-ups face?
Yeah.
And then it's very clear about what you're trying to propose, especially if you're throwing a rhetorical question to the audience. Yeah. But anyway, why you?
Why me?
Yep.
Well, I tried to retire. I was made redundant 3 times and I thought I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to get a corporate job anymore. And so I thought, let's see what else there is out there. And so one thing leads to another. Why me? Because it's there to be done. It's an Everest. I can climb it.
Yeah, nice work. I was just passing through. I think I'm in a similar stage of my life to you. Want to do more of what I like doing and just capitalise on your knowledge and skills. I see where you're going with this. I think it's quite good. I would suggest talking to a HR expert and a software developer. And if you can get those two worlds to meld, I think you might be onto something.
Thanks.
I have some contacts if you want to catch up with me later. We'll give you some names and numbers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Any other questions? One more down the front. All right, cool. Georgia.
Thanks. So is this a tool to be used for the onboarding process or is it like an ongoing management tool?
Both. So if we can spit out a recruitment profile, that's the other thing scale-ups don't know how to do is recruit.
Yeah.
So if we can spit out a recruitment profile saying, this is what the job we think that you're going to get, and here are the questions you can ask a person. And then once you get the person in, you can do an assessment on what their skill set is based on what the profile looks like, so that you can actually see what your gaps are. Because scale-ups can't afford highly qualified people. Mm-hmm. They need to develop their people, but they don't know how to do that, generally speaking. They have difficulty doing that.
Mm-hmm. And considering it's in the startup space where businesses are maybe a bit innovative, a bit different, like where do you get your data from to develop that? I just think about the work I do, right? And like every job I do is wildly different from a sector that's been around a really long time, but I've currently got a job description which doesn't match what I do per se.
We are going to put an org psych on, someone who will be able to at least validate a number of the profiles to say, yes, you're on the right track, and go to them when we have difficulty with a profile. But generally speaking, we understand what job profiles are. I've been doing this job for 20 years, understanding what people are supposed to be doing. Like I say, I'm from HR, here to help.
Excellent. All right. Well, guys, I think we are a little bit running late, so we're going to finish up now. Thank you so much to everyone that got up here and gave it a go. Well done. I know it's nerve-wracking and all of that, but hopefully you got something out of it, just standing in front of people and getting your idea across and getting that feedback. So when you do it for reals in front of investors or whatever, you're a little bit more prepared. Awesome. Well, thanks so much. We've got some feet up the back. Get to know each other. I'm going to throw chairs and stuff at you, so jump out the way while I turn this back into a co-working space. But we'll see you again in 2 weeks' time. We've got Jay Albany from Dirty Clean Foods. If you've ever had the oat milk, and they're going great guns at the moment, raised a bunch of money and getting product all around Australia, and he's going to have some really cool stories. Don't know what he's talking about, but the details will be up on the meetup page soon. So see you then. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Get to know each other. And I'll